Hey guys, this is Allie with iMore, and today we're going to look at Numbers, which is part of the iWork suite for iOS that consists of Numbers, Pages, and Keynote. So right now we're going to pop into Numbers, which was updated the day of the new iPad event last Wednesday with support for iOS 5.1. I actually believe you had to install iOS 5.1 to receive this update. There were also several performance and stability enhancements, as well as the addition of 3D charts and graphs. And then I believe most of the other updates were for the new iPad to support the Retina display and whatnot. So there wasn't too much new, but I'm going to show you basically 3D charts and graphs and how that works. So you can see here I pop into this spreadsheet. I've got some 3D charts already set up. So this is a pretty easy thing to do. Say I want to add a chart down here with this information. So what I would do is I would go to the plus sign up here, and I could select a 2D or a 3D chart. You've always had the option to select 2D charts, but now you'll see that you have a 3D tab as well. I can page through these, select different styles, different types, things like that. So maybe I want a colored one to match the other ones. So I'm just going to select this. Then I'm going to get this box, and for those of you who have used Numbers before, this shouldn't be anything new to you, especially on iOS. You're going to want to add data to your chart. So maybe I want this table up here. So what I'm going to do is, as you can see, as I tap a category, it's going to add it to the chart down here. So what I'm going to do is I want all these in here. I'm going to go over here to this corner, and I'm going to drag it down to include all of these. I don't want the total though. So now we've got all those in our chart. We scroll down and we see that we've got a nice little chart here, but it looks kind of a little bit squeezed height-wise. So maybe we want to change the size of this. We can do that by just dragging downwards. We can also rotate this chart any way that we want. And this is where you're really noticing the enhancements, because I remember playing with line graphs on my iPad before, and even just the 2D ones seemed like they were a little bit clunky. I would go to edit cells or add data in, and it seemed like it would just take a minute for Numbers to figure out what I was trying to do. So it's nice to see that there actually were performance enhancements made. Another area that I've noticed that I still kind of see a little bit of lag on is if I go to tap and edit a cell, when I go to tap into another cell, it takes a minute for it to populate and let me edit an amount. So it seems pretty quick right now, but I've had a couple times where if I'm tabbing through cells quickly to add data, it takes a minute for Numbers to catch up with me and figure out what I'm trying to do, or I'll have to tap inside that cell again. So other than that, there's not too much new. We can jump into another spreadsheet here, and let's see if we can find something else that I can show you. Okay, so we've hopped into another spreadsheet. Same deal here. We can move this whole chart over if we want. You can also move these labels. So if you want labels moved around, maybe you think they look better offset even further over, you can do that as well. You can rotate this chart just like you could the other one. But say you don't want all these labels on here, or say you want a little bit more data in the chart. You can do this by making sure that chart is highlighted with blue anchors. Go up to your formatting brush, which you'll notice some of these, the layout's a little bit different. Your formatting brush is what you're going to use to customize things. I don't particularly care for the font of this chart, so I can go into chart, and now I have chart options. I'm going to go into there, and I'm going to change the font to something a little bit more readable, I think. I can also go back, and I can go to chart type and change those, but there's also value labels. So I can change these, and you can see that those are going to add those, or I can turn them off. You can also change the depth, which is going to change how far these are in. For these charts, they're not that great, but when you have line charts that maybe you have overlaying data that you want to show a little more detail, this is great to where you can rotate it, and then you can actually change the depth to bring some things out and some things back. You can also change what grid lines you have on the X and the Y axis. So I can turn on a series name, which obviously that is not going to work. You can turn on and off category labels. Obviously you can add grid lines. So you can pretty much customize and tweak anything you want here. You just have to kind of play with settings. There's not too many new features in this. The only main new feature would be the ability to add 3D charts and graphs. And while I see that being an important feature and something that definitely makes spreadsheets more interesting and they're very easy to manipulate, I would more consider this a minor update than a major update from Apple. So if you've downloaded and messed with numbers, let us know what your thoughts are. And if you catch anything that I don't, let us know in the comments. Thanks.